This is Tyler, Next Level Guitar again. I'm here to show you some more fingerstyle. This time we're going to be doing some acoustic blues on the steel string. And I'm going to show you some techniques in the right hand that will enable you to play things such as riffs by Robert Johnson, Eric Clapton, or any of these guys that like to use that alternating right hand fingerstyle for their blues. So, one essential part of that style obviously is the alternating thumb bass. So whatever you're doing, melody, chords, anything, the right hand thumb is going to keep on providing that driving bass line. And so a good way to practice this is to just, with no left hand at all, is to just plant thumb on the low string, I, M, and A on 3, 2, and 1, and then just practice alternating between your low string and the next string. You can put on a metronome and practice this. Eventually get up to a faster speed. That's 6 and 5. You can also alternate 6 and 4. I'm using rest strokes each time, but you can also do free stroke. And the idea here is just to get your thumb comfortable with jumping back and forth between two strings. Then we'll add chords, and then we'll start playing the progressions, but this is very important just that your thumb gets comfortable. So spend some time doing that. So this is the position to start from. Thumb on the low string and finger 1 on 3, finger 2 on string 2, and finger 3 over here on string 1. I, M, A on 3, 2, and 1. And so when I'm alternating with the thumb, I'm just playing downstroke, then another downstroke, then repeating. And again, free stroke. So you can do either. Then alternate between 6 and 4. And then you can even alternate between 5 and 4, because that's another really common one. So just get your thumb going, Make sure you have a consistent tone and it feels right. You should notice how it feels each time. And obviously if you have nails, these are all going to sound more crisp and clean, but you can definitely still do all this stuff without nails too. Alright, once you've gotten the alternating bass down in your thumb, the next step is to add the other fingers. And this particular pattern is going to sometimes alternate thumb with the other fingers, and sometimes you're going to play the thumb at the same time as the other fingers. So one version is this. P, then M, then P and I together, then M and I individually. So all together that sounds like. Again. Okay, see how the thumb alternates and then together. Okay, then we're going to add the chords, but it's important that you practice this just with the right hand, and it's, if it sounds like that, open strings, that's fine. And then the next part of the pattern is going to involve A, this finger. So in the close-up it'll look like. So that's P, M, P and I together, M, I, then P and M, just like the beginning, and then P and A, P and this finger, A, ring finger, together. So the whole pattern. How it sounds with open strings, and we'll add the chords in a minute. Okay, you may have noticed also the particular rhythm and the sounds that I'm using here, and this is one of the things that's typical of a lot of blues. It's kind of a shuffle feel, actually more of a swing eighth note feel, if you know what that means. So it's as if we were playing triplets the whole time, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. But sometimes we're leaving out the second note of that triplet, so sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And with the triplet every now and then. So that translates to. Okay, so it's not just perfect straight eighth notes like da 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 da, if you were playing with the metronome. It's more of a blues feel. The next part to this is going to be, once you're comfortable with the right hand, adding the left hand. And the chords here are fairly simple, but it's very important that you're very clean and you don't make any mistakes. So the first chord is A7, and that's an open position A7. And the second chord is going to be a D7. This is just a standard blues progression. It's going to be a 1-4-5. This particular D7 is just like the one used by Robert Johnson and many others in their blues. This one has an F sharp in the bass. So it looks like this. And then the third chord, the last chord, is going to be E7, of course, since we're in the key of A. And hopefully you know this is an open E major with my pinky on D, making the 7. And now that you know the chords, we're going to apply that right hand pattern to these chords. Now, the thing to notice here is that some of these chords have a root on the low 6th string, and that's going to require you to change your right hand bass pattern to incorporate that low 6th string on those two chords. So the first chord, you're going to use the exact pattern I showed you. And then the next chord, the only difference is your thumb is going to play the 6th string instead of the 5th. You're going to be hopping between 6 and 4 on that D chord. And the same thing for the E chord. So that's going to give them more of a full sound when you hear the low bass note. And all together, starting on the A string, you have... That's the slow version. You can speed that up a little bit and get a little more of the flavor for it. This pattern can be used with other chords as well, and of course you can make up your own variations on this pattern. So you could have the triplet on the first, third, or fourth beats. You could alternate M with I in different combinations, and you can use A as well. One other thing in this style that might be cool to learn is this little turnaround here that you've probably heard a million times, and it's in a lot of blues songs. This particular one would be in the key of A if we want to keep it with this progression. This move starts on the 5th fret, and you're going to use your 3rd and 4th fingers, and they're both on 3rd finger is on string 4 and pinky is on string 1. So you have these notes, G and A. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a descending line here, chromatic descending line on the 4th string with 3, 2, 1, and 1, while leaving our pinky up on this high A the whole time. And our right hand thumb is going to play the low note, while the upper voice is taken care of by fingers I, M, and sometimes A. So this turnaround has a little triplet at the beginning. You may have heard it. You may have heard that somewhere before. So we're starting off with an open A string. Then I'm playing a quick high A. I would use first finger there, I. And then right after that, we're playing thumb along with a triplet. So the thumb plays the low A, and then you're going to play A, M, I in the right hand, along with that thumb. So it's play together with the first one, and then 2 more notes. Then after that triplet, it just goes to 8th notes, swinging 8th notes. And so you're going to just play the next note down with your thumb, but this time only 2 of the high A's. Same with this one. Same with that one. Now, I'm alternating A and M each time, but it could be just as easy, maybe easier to use M-I with that part. M-I, M-I, M-I. So the whole thing. And then that usually if we're in this key A, that would go to E. So it goes to the 5 after that. And back to your beginning. These can all be played in any key, of course, so practice that turnaround all over the neck. Same fingerings, so it'll feel the same to you, but it might sound and look a little different. Good job. Make sure you use your metronome and come back for more lessons at nextlevelguitar.com. And if you missed any of the beginning lessons for fingerstyle, I suggest you take a look at those because you're going to need to have a good handle on those before you can attempt most of this.